What's up, everybody, man? Back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another MonsterVerse news roundup. In this one, we will be continuing our chronological journey through the development of the MonsterVerse by covering events that happened between August and October, and today we're doing a little special spotlight all about Kong's survivor instinct. Before we begin, guys, we've got the momentum. Please subscribe. I want to see how fast we can get this channel to 101,954 subscribers so we can have 1954. That'd be awesome to see 1954 back in the sub rank, even if it just lasts for a couple minutes. I would love to see that hit again. And you guys are kicking so much butt, joining D-Force like more crazier than you have in a long time. It's so awesome. So please support the channel by subscribing. Yes, I know Kong's Survivor Instinct is out. I still haven't played it, and actually everything I know about the game came from doing this pretty much. It's actually one of the main reasons why I still do these news roundups, is because I gotta learn as well, and if I have to learn, surely some of you do as well. Hey, so today we're gonna do a little spotlight all about Kong's Survivor Instinct. Kong's Survivor Instinct is in many ways the newest installment to the MonsterVerse. It's a recent video game that came out at the end of 2024, and it's all about our boy King Kong, king of cleaning up Godzilla's messes that he's not willing to take care of for some reason. I wonder if there's a story reason for that. I don't know. Where is Godzilla during the events of this game? I don't know it. I'm gonna start out with some artwork like always. This first piece comes to us from Kaiju Pictures, and this is the Kong evolution art. Yeah, this is like my fears manifested into reality right here, starting with Godzilla versus Kong. It's evolving just backwards. We give Kong the beast glove, and I love the prediction here of Rise of Ebirah, as if Godzilla and Kong teaming up would be enough to stop Ebirah. You couldn't give Kong enough robo suits in the world to defeat Ebirah. And then finally, with the return of Shinomura, we finally have evolved Kong into his final state, Mechanic Kong. This is how I know that a lot of MonsterVerse fans are destined to never be writers. The fact that I've seen on Twitter growing popular demand to unironically resurrect Scar King in the form of Mechanic Kong. You guys are going somewhere. You're cooking. You're cooking. Next up, we've got Zeto's Kong and Shimo chillin'. This one's just super cute. I love the art style. It's very beautiful. I don't know. I'm excited to see these two's dynamic in the next movie. Hopefully we get something, you know, where they're like buddies. I'd like to see them being friends and doing little adventures together. That'd be cool. I thought this was great. Jared Krzyzewski liked it as well, so I wanted to shout it out. GNA, one of my favorite artists in the Godzilla community, just always killing it, always doing amazing work, released this art piece to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Godzilla Kong the New Empire. It's amazing. So many little wonderful Easter eggs and details in here. You've got all the main characters represented. Zuko, Scar King, Kong, Godzilla, Shimo, and Mothra. It's all in the ice. You can see Godzilla's evolution chamber down there. You've got Godzilla evolved. You've got Kong with the beast glove and the metal tooth. The whole thing just looks sick. GNA always does just this incredible artwork, so I wanted to show it off, man. I think it's awesome. 7 Level Studios is the company that has been behind this MonsterVerse game. This was announced actually a long time ago. It's been in development for a long time. And leading into the release of the game, they finally officially announced it with this teaser image. Out of the darkness, a new Titan rises, and it's got this skull that's also a spider head. Very cool design. Obviously, it's got that very Skull Island-esque quality where it's literally like a giant skull, but then you look down below and you've got all those spider eyes, and it is in fact an arachnid titan. I don't know if at the time we knew who it was, but obviously we now know this is Abaddon. GameSpot did an article all about this game where they go all in depth on the details of it, announcing that it is called Kong's Survivor Instinct, saying that it is a 2.5D. What a weird thing. I guess because technically it's 3D animation, but you play it in 2D. It is a 2.5D action-adventure game set after the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know how much after, but just after the events of Godzilla vs. Kong, with a father searching for his lost daughter through the wreckage left in the wake of Kong's battle with Godzilla. That's a plotline that's not really new to the MonsterVerse, obviously. That's very similar to Godzilla King of the Monsters as well. It is a standalone game, so there's going to be no sequels, released on PC and consoles. So if you want to play it on consoles, you can. 7 Level Studio says that they have enjoyed working with the MonsterVerse IP and enjoyed showing the Titans from a unique perspective. This article also details that there was a couple other MonsterVerse game collabs, such as the Roblox collab, where you could become Monarch operatives and interact with the Titans, which was a sequel to the previous GXK Roblox crossover. And then Godzilla x Kong Titan Chasers is the 4X mobile strategy game that was released by Hunted Crow Games. In it, you can build bases, recruit Titan Chasers, battle in turn-based combat on the Siren Isles, which is the new setting for that game, support Godzilla and Kong in their journeys, and then it just explains that the Siren Isles are like the small world created within the story of this game that's been uncovered, and it's what the plot of the game surrounds. We got a little teaser video announcing that the Titan in this game, the Titan that Kong would be going up against, is the fearful Titan Abaddon. And there's this little clip of Abaddon creeping in, looking in this cave. Very scary. I love making the Titans scary. I think that is awesome. It's such a cool idea. If you don't know, Abaddon in the lore of the MonsterVerse, we've learned a little bit more since this game came out. It was a threat to ancient civilizations and cultures, and it was feared as a spider god. A warning was discovered by Monarch, found in a cave beneath the Nazca lines in Peru. Abaddon in the MonsterVerse awakens in Monarch Outpost 77 beneath Devil's Tower, Wyoming during the Mass Awakening. The Devil's Tower lore, according to ancient native mythology, is that a bear was trying to climb Devil's Tower, but here it's a spider. Anyway, some concept art for Godzilla King of the Monsters depicts what is potentially Baphomet or Abaddon. I guess now we're gonna have to say it's probably Baphomet, considering they've changed Abaddon. Obviously, Abaddon was designed for this game. Not the most exciting Titan, especially in a post-Scylla world, where Scylla's already a cool arachnid monster, but to each their own. I know Abaddon's got some fans out there, so that's pretty cool. More Abaddon teasers were released, like one that's in the middle of this city, kind of setting the landscape for this apocalyptic destruction sequence, and then Abaddon's leg comes crashing down in a Kong footprint. Supposedly this game is canon, but it's in the same way that every expanded piece of MonsterVerse material is canon, in that the films will never acknowledge it, the filmmakers probably will never acknowledge it either. I don't know. We don't know how Grant Spatore is. We don't know how into the extended lore he is, but I'll tell you, I don't even think Michael Dougherty'd be playing this game and acknowledging it as canon. The fact that Godzilla Aftershock is the most canon, extended canon piece of the extended canon we've got, considering Michael Dougherty endorsed it as being a canon part of the MonsterVerse and the Godzilla King of the Monsters novelization, and yet the movie won't commit to even so much as an Easter egg to reference the events of that comic book. I know people get so upset with me for pointing this out. The extended canon, that's just so that you buy it. That's just what they tell you, so you buy it. None of this stuff matters. It literally does not matter to the canon. There's realists out there like myself who have come to be burned so many times by hoping that the comics matter and then they never do. I don't know. There's a reason that they never acknowledge the events of this game in any of the movies. Hopefully that changes moving forward, but my optimism died a long time ago. We got the wallpaper released for the game, which also reveals Tiamat, which is so freaking cool. I love that Tiamat was included in this game, and I love that Tiamat's become a really central part of the MonsterVerse. Tiamat here is using a much more Godzilla vs. Kong concept art-esque design than either the comic books or the film Godzilla Kong the New Empire, which is pretty interesting. This is actually the one that the toy for Tiamat was based on as well. Following this, the trailer was revealed, where you can see it's got a lot of story aspect to it, and the cinematic at the start looks really great with this father going in to try and find his daughter, and then you get into the gameplay, and I'll just say it, I'm not a platforming game fan, so it's just very much not a style of game I'm totally into, and especially when it's like, you could be releasing a game where we can play as the Titans, and then instead we're getting this, where it's a platforming game. I can understand why people were disappointed. I will say, it does look fairly well executed, and I'm excited to give it a try. I do think it looks pretty cool for a platforming game, although, like I said, it's just not my style, so I'll have to give it a try and see what I think. I think the graphics look amazing, though, for the most part. Some of the screenshots that came out sometimes don't always look the best, but on the whole, I think the graphics are pretty impressive for a platforming game. I'm very happy with it, even if the scale of Kong changes dramatically from shot to shot. I'm pretty excited about the visual aesthetic of this game. I think it looks pretty cool. A press release for the game came out where it's explained that a sudden Titan attack promotes a massive evacuation, but residents become trapped in a collapsing city and your daughter is among them. Which is crazy because, to be honest with you, I didn't even know I had a daughter, which I guess shows how irresponsible I've been. But I've also been told that this is your daughter as well, so dude, it looks like I'm not the only one. This is a realistic platforming game with challenging combat and Metroidvania-styled exploration. I don't know what that means, but shout out to you Metroidvania fans out there. You can influence the Titans with Monarch tech and use their strengths to your advantage as you navigate the collapsing buildings, toxic leaks, and raging fires. Again, if this is supposedly canon to the MonsterVerse, why aren't they busting out these tiny little orcas in the future? Why don't they use them in Godzilla Kong the New Empire or Godzilla vs. Kong? You can scavenge for resources, weapons, and tools to to solve puzzles and defend yourself against human and monster enemies. I actually think that's pretty cool that there's a range of threats from smaller monsters to the main titans and human threats, which is pretty cool. You can face Kong in his majestic glory and take on Abaddon, and returning super species and titans, of course we know one of those is Tiamat. In this game, you use the Orca Sigma as your way of aiming the titans. I think that's kind of hilarious. There was going to be the Orca Z in Godzilla vs. Kong, which was obviously cut super late into development. The Orca Z was cut. The Orca Z was this giant canister that they were going to load into Mechagodzilla's chest, and there was going to be smaller versions that Isa Gonzalez had. There's also going to be like a whole plotline about luring the titans to Hollow Earth through Skull Island using the Orca Z. All of that's gone. The Orca Sigma, why wouldn't they just call it the Orca Z? The Orca Sigma's in this game. I guess it's better than the Orca Beta. Alan Jonah returns, which is in my opinion the most exciting part of all of this, as it shows that somebody in the MonsterVerse didn't forget this guy exists. That's pretty awesome. His group is now named the Hyenas, and they are re-emerging with a new villainous scheme. Hopefully that plays out against multiple entries here, and hopefully that's tied into the films and given some relevance, because that'd be pretty cool. You play as David, an oil rig worker braving the crumbling city to find your only child, Stacy. Why does it matter she's your only child? I guess because if you had another, you wouldn't be as concerned about trying to save her. A little gameplay clip was released, and it just shows the platforming escaping this building as Abaddon, who apparently is like the weakest of all titans, attacks you, because Abaddon can't even catch up to one tiny little puny human running through a building. I feel like I don't want to be mean in this video. I'm just trying to have some fun. I'm just trying to play around. Please know I'm trying to be lighthearted with these jokes. I do actually think this game looks pretty cool, and I am excited to give it a try. There's a clip that was released of Kong absolutely decking this clock tower for no real reason after he sniffs it. I guess it was just loud and annoyed him. There's also this little teaser of Tiamat, which I think looks awesome, and actually the Tiamat aspect of this game is the thing I'm most excited for going into it. Following the Tiamat clip and teasers, it was announced that this game would release on October 22nd, 2024 for $24.99. Just after that, the game's initial release happened, with 7 Level Studios celebrating the game hitting number 5 on the charts. Pretty cool. It's nice to see the MonsterVerse doing that well, especially a game that didn't have Godzilla in it. It's pretty cool that the MonsterVerse could have that kind of influence. I like to see that a lot. The game developer Kayaxi on Twitter celebrated the mostly positive reviews for the game, as people turned out to generally like it quite a bit. I think it definitely did well for platforming fans. If you're a platforming fan and you're not too bummed out about the fact that you don't get to play as the Titans, I think that that's pretty awesome. I like that. I like to see that people are into the game, and again, I'm excited to give it a try. I'm not the biggest gamer in the world. Everybody knows that. I used to play video games a lot, and when I did, I never enjoyed platforming games, but I've always loved the MonsterVerse. I've always loved monster games. Given the trailer, given all these screenshots and everything, this game looks like the kind of game that it probably would have been my favorite game ever released if it came out when I was 12 years old. You know what I mean? Or maybe a little sooner than that. Like, I remember I used to play the King Kong PC game back in like 2005 era when that movie came out. And I always loved the DS King Kong game as well. I never had any real other gaming consoles to be able to experience like Godzilla Save the Earth and Godzilla Melee until I got way older. But if this game came out when I was young enough, I would be so in love with this thing. So I'm excited to give it a try. And when I play it, which I guess now that I've covered it, I definitely should, I'm gonna go in with a very open mind because I'd like to be surprised and I'd like to have a great time with it. Also, just dude, Tiamat's looking fantastic and I'd love to see more Tiamat, so that's awesome. What do you guys think about all this? Have you played Kong Survivor Instinct? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Comment below and let me know. And if you haven't, why haven't you? Is it just because you're not into games? Is it just didn't appeal to you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment everything down below. As always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. It is through the support of the patrons that I'm able to continue to make videos like this for you. If you want to support the Patreon, you can use the link in the description below where you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more. And if the Patreon's not your thing, please consider joining as a channel member for exclusive perks. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time for the next one. D-Man out.